In a lake 500 kilometers deep, there lived a big frog. He was the same creature for 100 years. He caught small fish and shrimp to fill his belly. Sometimes he would come out of the water and steal grains and fruits from the farmers' fields. But as long as the frog stayed in his place, the water there never dried up. However, just 100 meters from the frog's home, a terrible drought struck, destroying all the crops and leaving the villagers on the brink of starvation. To prevent the drought from spreading to the villagers called the most famous tantric Baba Lavan Baskar. They hoped his chants would bring rain and save their dry crops. The villagers knelt before an altar while the tantric stood on a platform, shaking a bull's branch and muttering strange chants. This was an old method of calling rain that had been passed down through generations in the village. Meanwhile, the big frog sitting at the bottom of the water heard the villagers' prayers. He became curious and immediately came out from the hill to see what was happening. Standing at the bottom of the hill, he saw two white smoke clouds rising in the sky. The villagers were kneeling together, but despite pleas, the sky was completely clear. There wasn't a single cloud or any rain. Big. The frog slowly approached the villagers and quietly stared at the tantric. Just then, one of the villagers noticed him. Then one by one, the others began to look at him too. The people present mistook the frog for a demon and, in fear, picked up their tools and started beating him. The frog pleaded for his life, but no one listened. The villagers tied him up with ropes. The frog begged, "Let me go, I'm not a monster," but the foolish villagers didn't believe him. They placed him on the altar, thinking maybe this would bring rain. Now the frog was tied on the altar, looking up at the sky. The hot sun's rays were scorching his skin. Slowly, the moisture in his body turned into sweat and began to flow. He looked at the sky with a sorrowful voice and said, "I'm just a small frog who lived at the bottom of the water. I haven't harmed anyone, yet this is happening to me today." The villagers kept him tied on the altar all day. The next morning, the frog began to pray for rain in his own language. And then something strange happened. The color of the sky began to change. The scorching sun was suddenly covered by dark clouds, and the daylight turned into the darkness of night. Then thick raindrops began to fall from the sky. Feeling the rain, the villagers danced with joy. They raised their hands to the sky and realized it was all because of the frog. They rushed to the altar to set him free. But by the time they untied the frog, he was already cooked. Does it rain where you are?